Hello, everyone, and good evening to you. This is going to be a follow up video on my previous analysis of the USOil, where we were actually expecting a bullish momentum on this pair. So, if you had missed out on that publication, I will be sharing the link to that video in the comment section of this video on my TradingView platform. So without further ado, let's dive into the chart and let's see what the current structure in the market is telling us. So right here on the 4 hours time frame, we can see our price started last week. We can see that price started last week at around the $86.50 area, right around this very important key level. And during the course of last week, we saw multiple rejection of this level to give us a clue into the strength of the sellers at this point in time. As we can see, every attempt by the buyers to break right above the $86.50 area was met with stiff resistance by the sellers. And the reason why we're actually looking forward to a buy potential opportunity on the US oil last week was simply because of the multiple rejection of the $83 in the last week. So we saw price reject that level multiple times by the buyers, and this was more or less a sign that we could be buying the US oil. Though we took some advantage, we took a trading advantage here where price moved about 200 pips to the upside before we saw that crash. So last week I took this move, which I shared in the comment section of the previous analysis of this pair. We took about 200 pips here before we saw the sharp move to the downside. And since we witnessed the breakdown of the structure during the later part of last week's trading session, I want to be seeing this as a bearish signal going forward. As we can see, the breakdown of this level gives us a clue that the sellers are becoming very strong here as they were able to take out all the buy position from this area to give this area the $83 to make this $83 a significant level to look out for in the coming week. So now with this information gathered here on the 4 hours time frame, what has going to be our expectation going into the new week? Well, from a technical standpoint, when we cite a breakdown of structure like this, we expect that price is likely going to come back and do a retest of that structure with the intention of giving us further confirmation of a trend continuation to the downside. So going into the new week, this is one of the scenarios I want to be looking forward to. That is there is a likelihood that price might come back into the demand zone here, rejecting this level or probably evolving into a reversal pattern to send price going to the downside. That is one scenario I'm going to be looking forward to this week. Or this there is a possibility that price could actually climb or break right above the $83 level, probably come back to do a retest of this level in such a way that we start seeing a trend continuation to the upside. So these are the two scenarios I'm going to be looking forward to next week. But before I put an end to this video, let's scale up a little bit into the daily time frame and let's see what is really happening on the higher time frame. So scaling up to the daily time frame here, let's see what the structure is giving us here. We can see from a larger perspective that price action has been on a very strong bullish momentum since the beginning of the year, and this is evident after connecting the series of higher lows here to give us this resultant bullish trend line. And we can see that something interesting has been happening on this chart in the last couple of months. As we can see, since the month of August, we saw multiple rejection of that bullish trend line with the intention that price might be going to the upside. But what happened during the early days of this month was quite significant as we saw a breakdown of that structure. And during the course of the previous week, we saw a retest of that bullish trend line to give us a further confirmation of a trend continuation to the downside. So with the current structure we have here on the daily time frame, we can see that despite the fact that price has been on a strong bullish momentum, the breakdown of that bullish trend line here and the retest of this level is likely going to be sending price to the downside. So that is how the structure on the daily time frame plays out here. And going back to the 4 hours time frame, let's see if we are going to be having a scenario where price would likely go back into the demand zone to do a retest of the structure that will be sending price to the downside. But rest assured that during the early hours of the week, I will be giving you an update in this regard in the comment section of this video in my on my TradingView platform. If this video has in any way been of immense help in making your individual decision on the US oil, kindly support this project by liking this video. You would also want to follow me on my TradingView platform at Dark Sherry so that you don't miss out on the regular updates I normally share on every video published. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking as well, and I wish you a wonderful night rest. Good night.